For many years, we've seen a surge in Black cinema branching off into different genres. We have Black horror, Black romance, Black sci-fi, Black animation, and literally so much more. But there's one specific genre that it seems that Hollywood can't stray away from: Black struggle. Black struggle films are films that focus on historic or overt racial, ethnic, or social challenges and appear to be one of the few sorts of films cast, led, and produced by Black American creatives, according to the International Academic Forum. Not to get this confused with blaxploitation, which focuses more on Black empowerment rather than Black trauma. The question I hope to answer by the end of this is the Black community tired of seeing Black struggle films? Some examples of Black struggle films would be 12 Years a Slave, The Hate U Give, Emancipation, The Help, Till, Queen and Slim, The Color Purple, Precious, etc., etc. All films where a Black person faces suffrage and mental/physical harm of some kind. This raised the question of whether one would consider films such as Malcolm X, Judas and the Black Messiah, Selma, BlacKkKlansman as Black struggle films as well. I say yes and no. Though these films are technically considered Black struggle films, per definition, these are films that showcase a piece of important and true history made to enlighten and educate others. These are stories that one simply just can't really make up. I would consider them Black activist films. I'm focusing more on the trauma aspect of the Black struggle that seems to serve no other purpose than to shock and or infuriate others. Green Book, for example, is a story about an Italian-American man who becomes a driver for an African-American pianist in the deep, segregated South. Though this film takes place in the Civil Rights era, critics call it tone-deaf, misrepresenting, and historically inaccurate. Nevertheless, the film won Best Picture and Best Supporting Actor at the 2019 Oscars. This goes to show that Black struggle films can have a support system to achieve success, such as Moonlight, If Beale Street Could Talk, Creed, Black Panther, which was very well received and reached critically acclaimed success. In fact, as of 2019, a study was done to determine how many films exactly from 1998 to 2018 are Black struggle films, and how many of them had a Black lead and a Black cast. These were the results. As you can see, out of the 318 Black cinema films that were released from 1998 to 2008, 28.3% are Black struggle films. The worldwide gross earning for Black struggle films range from $2,500 to $449 million. So as one could see, the amount of Black struggle films may be small in numbers, but yet they make quite a profit. But recently, since 2018, there's been a shift in how these struggle films are received. What does it take for there to be a popular coming-of-age movie featuring a Black girl main character and an all-Black cast that gets into shenanigans that has nothing to do with racial trauma? We don't need more slave movies or hood movies or any more Black trauma films. We need more comedies, family films, slice of life. For the millionth time, we don't need every Black film to be about trauma or the racism we see on the daily. We're not triggered. We are bored and tired. We want the escapist fun that comes from movies of magic, adventure, action. We want Black fantasy. I'm not watching Black pain, Black trauma, or Black death on the internet, in film or on television. I don't need to see our pain to be made aware of it. Enough with the exploitive Black struggle movies with a Black lead that doesn't center around suffering. We saw films such as The Hate U Give, where a Black girl witnesses her best friend be killed by police. See You Yesterday, a story about a Black girl going back in time to save her brother from being killed by police. Two Distant Strangers, a short film about a Black man being stuck in a time loop where it always ends in him being shot by police. Queen and Slim, a film about a Black couple on the run, which eventually ends in them, and spoiler warning, but I'm sure you guessed it, being shot by police. Over and over, we see stories with the same types of endings, and it makes sense as to why people are tired of this. Even director Jordan Peele addressed this when his film Get Out was released, changing the original ending from cops arresting Chris to his best friend Rod saving him, just for Black people to have a win for once.
By the time I was shooting it, it was quite clear that the world had shifted. Racism was being dealt with. People were woke, and people needed a release and a hero, which is why I changed the ending and had Rod show up at the end.
When he says this, I believe he was referring to the Black Lives Matter protests that had a massive growth in support since 2016, where police brutality and racially motivated violence against Black people rose in numbers. It again makes sense as to why people wouldn't want to see the same type of violence on the big screen over and over. This is also proven with the resurgence of satire films that directly address the issues in Hollywood's attachment to Black struggle films and negative portrayals of Black stereotypes in film. With 1987 film Hollywood Shuffle paving the way, we've had amazing Black satire films such as Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, Sorry to Bother You, They Clone Tyrone, and American Fiction, as well as shows such as The Boondocks, though there are other pieces of Black satirical media that fail to hit the mark.
This is the Netflix reboot of the show Good Times. I think we need to boycott this one.
After watching this Good Times reboot, I'm generally considering if I really want to keep my Netflix subscription.
The American Society of Magical Negroes has been pulled from theaters after only 3 weeks, finished with $2.4 million at the box office, 28% score on Rotten Tomatoes, budget estimated to be $15 million.
I just watched the trailer for this movie, and I want everybody involved to go straight to...
Even if we had magical powers, we would still be bending to the white man. This ain't it.
All in all, the question on if the Black community is tired of seeing Black struggle films, and I know I can't speak for all, but I'm pretty confident that the answer is yes. We have films such as Into the Spiderverse, The Harder They Fall, Interview with the Vampire, Wakanda Forever, and the Candyman sequel that proves that Black people yearn for just some type of escapism, a distraction for the harsh reality that we live in today. But I do feel like we can appreciate the films where we struggle but pick ourselves up in the end. Thank you.